everybody, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new, my name is Chanel, and I'm the reader here every time you visit this channel. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for all of you again. It is truly my honor and pleasure. I hope that all of you can hear me okay. I am waiting for a new microphone. My microphone was acting up. So if you've watched the Aquarius video, my apologies, because there's a little bit of static from time to time throughout the video. This reading is intended for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. If you're watching for a Libra, you're going to want to reverse the roles, but I'm not sure that that'll work for this simple fact that this is a love forecast. Rather than delving into your person's energy. So if you need a personal reading, you can find that link in the description box down below. That's what I have for you. So Libra, I'm taking a look at what has recently manifested in your life in regards to love. This is a little bit of heavy energy I'm seeing here because it feels as though you had everything you wanted. But I'm also seeing that someone else had a different agenda in regards to the relationship that it felt like you were building. It looks like you were the one cultivating, right? Whereas this person might have always been on the go. Their focus was not the relationship. For some of you, your person is a musician, because I've got this card here with this woman literally gardening while this man is running off with his cello. So I feel like when it came to this relationship, you may not have always felt like you were a priority in this person's life, but I also feel as though you were able to find things to keep you busy. If your person was doing other things, it wasn't like you were taking it personal, right? As I'm moving on and kind of looking at what happened here, it feels like this person came into your life and they had their own demons that they were fighting. And that is something that I feel like maybe you were a little bit aware of, but it also feels like you didn't know the magnitude of the situation. It's like this person didn't express to you how dark they can become or how negative their thoughts are. There was also some lingering energy from their past. So for some of you, there was a meddlesome partner in the mix that they had dealt with before you. This is the energy of this person. It's like they kept this ex in their subconscious or in the background. And it's frustrating here because what I'm seeing is that you saved this person from themselves at one point, is what this looks like to me. And then this person may have behaved as though they were fine, but in reality, they were not. Or they may have behaved as though this previous situation wasn't still lingering in their mind or heart, when in reality it was. As I'm looking at this, I feel that you may have some similarities to this person in the sense that you have depression or anxiety. I feel like this is painful because it seemed like you were kind of kindred spirits in a lot of ways, right? I'm feeling like the person that's coming through here, they have this attitude. It's almost like maybe they put themselves in bad situations and then they expected you to save them or have sympathy for them. Whereas I feel like for you, when you're in your dark place or when you are going through these energies and it's kind of a passing phase, it doesn't feel like they're there to save you, because then they have other things to do. This situation, I feel like, has gotten you more in touch with your psychic gifts. But it's because you ended up having to take a period of time to just really introspect. There's a huge energy here, Libra, of you giving so much of yourself and making so many concessions for this person, probably putting your needs and wants on the back burner to support them in their career or their emotional recovery. And now I feel like you got into a space where you're leaving this person to their own devices. This is a situation that I feel like you're viewing as something that you need to guard yourself from or protect your energy from. This person, it's kind of weird. This is like the energy of them expecting you to be a cheerleader or a groupie or something and just like support them. You know, they're supposed to be the star of the relationship. And perhaps you have attracted partners in the past that have treated you this way, or this was like your family dynamic. Because I feel like situations that we've been through in our lives oftentimes reflect things that we need to take a look at about ourselves, parts of us that are unhealed. There's a fear of rejection that I'm seeing here. So that may have led you to fight for this person or to fight the urge to really speak your mind when it seems like things were unfair, which there was a lot of disparity in this situation, you know, and I feel like with you being a Libra and justice being your tarot card, that's going to be a reoccurring theme throughout your life as far as relationships and situations that you find yourself in, right? At what point does support become enabling or even you taking a back seat in your own life? So I feel like those are some of the things that you've been experiencing, but also kind of pondering in regards to your love life, because this situation is no longer fulfilling to you. And if anything, you probably feel as though it sets you back a little bit, okay? I feel like you tried so hard to mirror this person to reflect the good qualities that they had to them. Even if this person was trying to take accountability for the way they were behaving when you were together, you very well may have been somebody who was like, hey, it's okay. You know, you don't feel good or you're busy or you have a lot going on. I feel like you did this because you really wanted a relationship that could go the distance. But the difficulty here is that if anything, you're in a space now where you're feeling a little bit bitter because you invested so much, right? And you were waiting, like it was always the energy of when is it my turn to be your priority? When is it going to be my time, you know, to take center stage in your life? You have time for your career. You have time for your friends. You have time for your ex. So there's an energy, Libra, where I feel like this has changed you in a way because you have an opportunity to leave this situation in your mind. But it feels like this is something this month that you kind of keep returning back to because it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense how you can support someone so much and love someone so much and they don't see it, you know, or they take the time and the attention that they should have been giving to you and they give it to people around them that have not been in their corner, right? This kind of goes back to self-love this month. I feel like that's something that intuitively you have been picking up on, that, you know, maybe you're getting messages from spirit or you're seeing things where you're like, wow, you know, I should really do more for me, you know, do more to make sure I'm good. But I kind of feel like you distract yourself by taking care of the people around you, Libra. And that's something that is very beautiful about you, that you're so giving. But it's also difficult because you're not healing the hurts that need to be taken care of. And then you're trying to heal the people around you. But because they're kind of empty, right? They look at you as though you're providing a service rather than doing what they need to do to keep the situation moving, right? To really establish, longevity within a connection. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you find yourself attracting a lot of energetic vampires, you know, and I feel like with what I'm seeing here, this may not feel like an opportunity, but I think it really is an opportunity for you to go within, you know, and kind of adjust your thermostat in regards to love. Because wherever you're vibrating in your heart space, when you think about yourself, that's the energy that you put out, and that's what people pick up on, right? So if you feel like you have to give so much of yourself to be loved, people will take so much of you and still be on the fence whether or not they're going to stay or go. You get what I mean? Let's take a look at what's going on as a result of this situation. Justice. All right. So that's what we were talking about. That's your energy, right? So you could be going back to the drawing board, I feel like, in regards to putting yourself first. I think that you're in the process of developing some new promises to yourself. You know, I think that you have decisions around where you want to go. Do you want to meet someone new? Do you want to try to reconcile with someone old? But more than anything, I feel like you're starting to go within this month and you're really taking the time to tell yourself, like, before I get back into a relationship, what do I want? You know, what am I not willing to put up with? What am I willing to give? What am I not willing to give? You could be getting people involved in your life in like a therapeutic capacity. You could be talking to advisors or people that you trust. I feel like there's an energy of you wanting very much to be in control of your life because you want to manifest something real, you know, something that doesn't leave you emotionally depleted and something that doesn't dissipate as soon as it's this person's time to reciprocate for all of the love that you've given them, right? But I'm picking up on apprehension here because there's almost like a fear that if you stand your ground, people won't choose you. So I don't know if you think that your best quality is that you're very loving or that you're very good at supporting people. I don't know if that's what you feel like that's all you have to offer. And if that comes from maybe like being bullied or having people tell you that you're not successful enough or you're not attractive enough or whatever the case is here. But I'm picking up on an energy of it's like people are trying to support you in your group and they're trying to encourage you to not give so much of yourself. And you're very hesitant because it's almost the energy of like, well, now no one will pick me because I'm taking my best quality, you know, out of my storefront, right? I think that this is a really good turning point for you. I feel like if this past energy comes back, people are advising you to really stand your ground. And that could be making you nervous as well, because there's an energy of you feeling like maybe this was the love of your life. But I'm going to tell you right now that this person, when I'm looking at their cards, they put everything above you, you know, and I feel like this is someone who is very selfish. I feel like when they met you, their own friends were probably really sick of dealing with them because they knew that this is somebody who puts themselves in stupid situations and then looks for emotional support, or this is someone who has issues that they refuse to address. And so they allow that to dictate how they treat other people in the course of their life. Okay, so it was this person's good luck that they stumbled upon someone who didn't know their history or their background and was so giving and kind so quickly, because the people that they had been dealing with were already over them, you know, so maybe that will help you to feel a little bit better. about pulling back from this person because they viewed you as a resource when their resources were depleted. Okay. I want to take a look at your conscious because I see that you're making a decision here, but I see that there's apprehension, which is normal. You know, presenting yourself in a different way is never easy, right? But I do think that it's time, Libra, for you to start setting the boundaries before the issues arise, right? Because it's really hard to change the dynamic of how someone treats us after we've already allowed them to go so long in the space they were moving, right? So for your conscious energy, you got the Fool, but subconscious, you got the Nine of Swords in the reverse. What I'm seeing here is that it's kind of like you're gassing yourself up to go off on a new adventure, right? And you're trying to tell yourself like, hey, this time's going to be different. I will go about everything differently, right? Brand new me. I'm going to present this new me to the world. I feel like in your subconscious, there's an energy of feeling as though your worst fears will be confirmed, which is that this isn't going to work out. I want you to be mindful this month, Libra, of allowing other people to tell you how to deal with situations in regards to your love life, because there's an energy of you almost feeling like you have to take your hands off the wheel and be like, okay, whatever, I'll just do things your way. And I feel like that's not going to be beneficial to you either. Like, you're going to have to find a happy medium that makes you feel comfortable with what you give to people, right? But in all honesty, because see, I have the opposite problem of you, Libra. In the past, I've been too giving before, but as a result of that, it made me shut down completely. And then I would shut people out, right? Because that was my way of setting boundaries. But at the same time, I wasn't in a space where I loved myself enough to set healthy boundaries. And so my walls would just go up and then I'd shut everyone out. For you, I kind of feel like you're headed in that direction because this is more of you trying to like imitate what people are telling you to do. So if you have like a brother who's like, you know what, my girlfriend would tell me, you know, to go to hell if I treated her the way your boyfriend treated you, right? Just an example. It seems like as you're trying to go off and either confront this person or figure out this situation, or you're done with it and you're like, okay, I'm ready for new love. As you're dating or people are asking you questions, it feels like you're going back to whoever is advising you in your mind and thinking like, what would this person tell me to say? You get what I mean? And that's hard because that's not authentically you. I feel like that's going to create some issues because in some ways it feels like you're going with someone else's plan just so that it can blow up and you can be like, see, this doesn't work. But in all honesty, Libra, that's a waste of your time. And it's not getting to the root issue that I'm seeing here, which really is just a lack of self-love. If you can work on you, which I know is not fun, that will completely change the dynamic of your relationships. Because even subconsciously, it's like, you know that you're stuck. This is what I'm seeing, is that you feel as though you're going to keep attracting the same kinds of partners. You're going to go back to giving more than you get, right? If you try to break out of that, people aren't going to want you, so you're going to be alone. You get what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of those fears are coming from you being in a space of just not feeling very good about yourself right now. So, I mean, you can take this advice, you know, maybe you're reading books. I've done that before. What did I read? Why All Men Love Bitches, right? That was back when I was in this energy that you're in, where I was so giving and then people would take advantage of me. I still haven't discovered why you can give the world to someone and then they just act like you don't matter. But I think part of that is because they just take it for granted. Think about the difference between having someone give you something very expensive versus you having to work to be able to afford that expensive thing, right? Once your self-worth goes up, you will see that you can't just give so much of yourself because you're very valuable. And it's okay to ask for people to work to earn your trust or your time. Okay. I want to take a look at what situation you're creating with your conscious and subconscious, because that'll be the next thing that you're dealing with in your love life. I'm seeing that you're wanting to start fresh, and maybe you're in this mode of like, well, I'm just going to be, as tough as so-and-so, or I'm going to treat people however, because that's what guys clearly want or girls clearly want, right? But I don't feel like that's getting to the root issue, and I don't feel like that's benefiting you. And Spirit is confirming that by showing me that the 7 of Swords is coming out for your month and what's coming towards you. So this is a facade, right? This is you trying to be someone that perhaps you're not, because the person that you are, it feels like it hasn't been working. What I want you to understand is there's nothing wrong with you, Libra, right? I just think that a lot of the love and consideration you've been giving to your relationships, you would really benefit from giving that to yourself. Because now, as you're moving forward and trying to date or meet new people, because you're not being authentic and because you're moving into a space where you're putting up a facade, right? You're attracting people who will be doing the same, and they may not have as good of intentions as you do, because the universe is just mirroring that energy back to you of like, you're being someone that you're not. So you're attracting versions of old people, or you're attracting new people that are being very strategic in the way they behave and operate with you. Okay, so I'm doing this style of reading because I want people to be able to understand that tarot is just a look at what will happen, what could happen if we continue on the path that we're on. It's not set in stone. So I'm trying to give people the information they need to be able to change their outcomes, right? Because I feel like you're trying to manifest a reason to not have to set boundaries with people because it makes you a little bit uncomfortable, or you feel like that's going to turn people away. So you're kind of going with the flow of whatever people are saying in your life. But this could result in something that is a setback, because you will be attracting people who are also hiding parts of themselves. And I feel like this is a warning, from Spirit, that maybe other people's way is not the best way either, right? It kind of feels like you're avoiding the main issue here. And the more you try all these things to distract yourself from what needs to happen, the bigger the lesson will become, because eventually you're going to have to face this. So I'm going to look into this 7 of Swords, because this is illusions, right? And this is deceit. This is feeling as though you have to be something that you're not. And then like you're playing chess with your, love interests. You're being very strategic. And it feels as though you're attracting people that are also being very strategic and perhaps not showing you who they are. Okay. So if you're going off and trying to meet new people this month, I would say just be mindful that, you're really getting what you're seeing or what's being presented to you, because it seems like now the universe is mirroring that energy that you're adopting. Okay. So in the extended reading, I'm going to look deeper into this 7 of Swords, because I'd like to see if this is the energy that you're presenting to people, or if this is going to be coming into your life, and this is something that you have to deal with. I feel like it's kind of both ways from what I'm picking up here, but I'm going to see how this will affect your life. and how you'll handle this. But I'm going to see how the person that's involved is going to be affecting your life, because if you were trying to manifest this old person back and you want them to put you as a priority, and then you're behaving in a way that's not in alignment with who you are, you very well may manifest a version back of this person who puts you as a priority, but doesn't really feel that way, and we can only keep up facades for so long. So I'm going to take a look at what this person, this 7 of Swords person, is doing to you and how that's going to affect you, as well as what they'll be showing you, what you're going to see from this and what you're going to do next. So if you would like to follow me over to the extended reading, the link is in the description box below. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for all of you, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.